Hello there, I'm another Magento dev. Welcome to another video. In this video, I'm really sorry, I'm going to be arsing around with Laravel mix again. Basically, this is like classic procrastination work in it. Arsing around with your compilation of your CSS, your JavaScript, your auto reload, and not getting any work done. Well, welcome to this video. What is exactly that? I've moved it, right? I've changed my mind, okay? I'll straight up, I've changed my mind. Like, this is where it was, look. This is where Webpack was. I said, bang it in the theme. You can use it in a theme. If you add another theme, add it to the next theme, and you can work on each theme independently, which you probably would do anyway, so it would work. But, I mean, I had a question, what I thought was a question about compilation of CSS in modules along with the theme. It wasn't even that question, but it raised a question to me. So many questions. And the question was, can I get it working for module CSS and JavaScript compilation and copying? Well, yeah, I can, essentially. And it means moving it to the root of Magento, right? Which I've done, right? But what that means is that you have to write a little bit more in the Webpack mix. You have to come up with a different way to be able to, because I wanted it to also be able to support multi-themes, so basically multi-sites and modules. And the only way I could think of doing it was writing an array of the information that you need to be able to run the mix sass command, like you can see here. So depending on your modules, like you need a folder and a namespace, because if you want it to inject your CSS into the theme static folders, you know, this information will look right here. Look, we've got a folder which is the module, which appears here, look, element folder, and that grabs the CSS from your modules. So say you got a module here, I did a demo one here, look, another extension, SSS, grab styles from here. I mean, if you call all your modules styles, then you can start putting your styles in your modules. Now, I've said before, like, you don't need, personally, I don't feel, when I'm building a site for someone, a Magento site, that you need your CSS for your modules in your modules, because the manifestation of that module's front end is generally based on the theme. Now, you might want to add some sort of structural CSS to this here, but I mean, this is just basically just me asking around now, and as I say, not getting any work done. But some people might like to do this. Some people might like to write their modules with the CSS and say, like, this is my mega menu, this is my extension, this is what it looks like, this is how it manifests on the page. Obviously, if you're doing that and you're only writing structural CSS, then crack on, that sounds great. But it always goes one further than that, which is why I like to include my modules CSS in my theme. But that is just my opinion, my personal preference, which is why I've never gone to the extent of doing this before. But now I'm doing this. So what I'm going to put this on GitHub. There's not only this, there's not only that reason that I'm doing this as well, because basically what I'm saying here is I'm saying that it's going to loop round the themes here and compile the sass. It's going to loop around the modules, all my modules, so you've just got to basically add your modules to here, each time including the theme folder that you want to compile it into. It's probably going to be both, and I'm going to show you a slight workaround for this, like, because modules generally are going to go across both themes. Again, another reason why I wouldn't write a CSS for modules, but again, if I was going to do it, then this is where you do it. Like, if I wanted to write this for, like, I wanted to loop around this and deploy my, and remember, this is only for development purposes, like local development. This is only for our own gratification, essentially. And you know, this might be another theme, and that's gonna bung not another extension, that's what this extension is called, child theme, another I have to keep doing that, Do you know what I mean? This is how it's gonna look for that extension. Then it's gonna put my SCSS in both places. As part of, so what it's going to do is it's going to copy it there, so I don't have to refresh, and it works with the auto reload, and that's what basically this little loop here does. But, and this was a question that I had, like, I have my shortcodes, you know, if I want to refresh the cache, I have like BM, Magento, cache, clean. So I have them slight short. I've written Magento, I've written it wrong, but I have my slight shortcodes, look, and I write those here, look. So if I just like jump into here, and I go into home directory and I grab my ZSH file. So I use ZSHRC file. So I've got all my shortcodes here, look. I'll have like bin Magento, big 4 with a cache disable and all sorts of, but still they're global. And one size doesn't always fit all. Like, you might not want to like run a full big 4. You might only want to run like setup upgrade in the compile if you're in developer mode, because then when you refresh your screen or auto reload kicks in, or your static content builds. So I thought of another way of doing it, right? And this is where having Webpack mix in the root is great, because you can use package JSON, look, for this. So this is a great way of, you know, making your global commands, your deploy commands and things, based on the instance that you're working on. So, like, while I'm in this M24 instance, if I type in, you know, cache flush. No, if I type in yarn cache flush, it's going to flush the cache for me. If I type in yarn Magento deploy, it's going to deploy static content for me. So this is really useful. And also, so say for example, you know, you get hold of this file off me, I'm going to put it on my GitHub, and you can't be arsed with this, right? You can't be arsed with it. You think, you know what, I'm going to write loads of extensions, I can't be arsed to list them all here. That's fine, right? Because Node has a really good little package, look, called child process. And child process, as you can see here, you can run commands basically as part of your deploy. So let's just minify, just comment on this for a second and comment in this. Now notice I'm using the yarn Magento static, right? So you can use, I could use yarn Magento static because I've already done it, or I could put the full sort of command in there, right? And we all know, and I could flush cache as well if I wanted to. So I could also do yarn static, and I could do ampersand yarn cache flush, right? And save that, right? And now if I want to run my SAS, I could do yarn, my mix, my SAS and my mix, yarn mix, and watch what it does, look. It craps out. Why is it crapped out? Why is it crapped out? Right, let's just get rid of this a sec. Right, try this again. Yeah, I think it was to do with that extra line I'd put in there. Right, so what? Why did it crap out? Right, so now it's not only run Magento static not found. Right, it's giving me an error, which is good, right? Magento static not found. It's always good when you get errors. I love it. It's especially when I'm recording. Magento static not found. Right. Right. So I tell you what. we won't use them just for the purposes of me displaying this, of me showing this, right? So we will. Oh, I changed it. I changed it being clever, right? Before I come on, then forgot I changed it. So that's where being clever gets you. So we go, instead of Magento, static, right? And then we'll do yarn mix. It's running mix. Now, notice it took a while, right? It's done it. Look, it says it took 8 seconds. Was that 8 seconds? But it's basically it took 5 seconds to run static content, and then it took a couple of seconds to flush the cache. Now, if you because once you're running yarn watch, right, and you're tapping away on your you're tapping away on your CSS, it's like it's just going to run in the background. If it takes 8 seconds, is that really a problem? I don't think it does take 8 seconds, but excuse me, it'll trigger the reload. Look, so if I kick on live reload there, I'll just make this smaller so we can see it happening. We'll just go in here like that, and we'll just make a change. Did I turn it on? Did I have it on? Yeah, I've got it on there. Right. Just give that a refresh. It might be because there was no changes, right? I'll just yeah, it's kicked in live reload. So I mean, it's still pretty quick. The only thing is, obviously, if you go to so essentially, the moral of the story is, it'll work with your native Magento commands, which is useful because you might want to use them as part of your deploy. So you're working and you might think, right, I'm doing enough work on a plugin or whatever. So I'm just, all I want to run is yarn, what did I say, deploy. Magento deploy. So you can just use them, and it's quicker than typing bin Magento deploy. So essentially, they're there if you want them. You can connect them to Webpack Mix. You don't have to. Obviously, I'll give you this file in its sort of entirety. I like using the sort of injected commands because this is putting the this is essentially deploying the entire static content, as you can see, which takes a few seconds. And this one is, if you go to the trouble, particularly if you're only doing theme development, I mean, this is the one you want really. And then, you know, your modules, if you want to add them in, you know, if you want to go to the trouble and add them in, you know, you can go for it. So yeah, I'm going to put this on GitHub. Again, it's just a bit of a mess about with Laravel Mix, but it could, you know, help with your sort of development process, which is, you know, what we're all about improving on this channel. I love it. I love messing about with this, even though I don't have to. Great stuff. I hope that's been useful. If you like this type of content, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.